Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a quick cook with me video on how I make my peach cobblers, strawberry cobblers, apple cobblers, blueberry cobblers, whatever kind of cobbler it is that I like to make. What you will need is a Dollar Tree pan. This is one that is half the size of a 9x13. 1 can of pie filling. You can use pie filling, you can use fresh or frozen fruit. If you do one of those, you'll need to make a simple syrup of equal parts sugar and water and mix them together. A can opener, half a bag of cake mix, cinnamon and sugar, half a stick of butter, and a sifter, and something to obviously take your filling out with. And some Pam Crisco butter, whatever you prefer to oil up your pans with. And all you're going to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You can use other types of bakeware for this, Temptations, Pyrex, cake pan. I prefer these because they're take and toss. So once you open up your can, you will spray a very light coating or grease your pan. Very carefully get all of the stuff out of the jar. If you're using it from the jar like this, you'll need to try your best to scrape out as much of the gook that is in there, because that is basically a simple syrup that is in there. If you're doing this in a 9x13 pan, you will need 2 cans of 1.5 cans of this filling, or 21 ounces of filling for this. As I said, you scrape out as much of the insides of this as you can. I prefer these smaller pans because it lets me be very versatile with the flavors. In a 9x13, it's pretty much one flavor. If you have that many people you can do that with, you can do this and repeat this process as many times as you would like. Also, in a 9x13 pan, I do suggest, if you decide you want more fruit, you can either add a can of regular canned fruit. If you use a can of regular fruit, you will need to drain the juices of that fruit. And on the back of all these cans, they always have these nice little recipes, which I do keep. Okay. So now we have all of this in here. We very carefully spread this out. The idea is to try to get it all in one nice layer. Also try to get all the gunky out. You try to get this all in a very nice layer here. So you're gonna get some fruit in every bite. If you're using peaches and apples and you see that one side has more, you can use something to slightly chop them up with. Again, the idea is to get this all in one very nice layer, as you see here. Set that aside. You will need a sifter and half of a bag of cake mix. You can mix white and vanilla cake mix if you would like. If you do that, you can judge which one you like best. But the idea is to obviously and then you just sift the cake mix on top of the fruit. The idea is to cover the fruit so that you see none of the fruit peeking through the cake mix. If you're going to do this in big batches, you could also have a bowl already with the 2 cake mix flavors that you would like. You could possibly do this with crumb cake. I have not tried this with crumb cake topping yet. I have only done it this way before. And yes, I couponed for the cake mixes. They are actually Betty Crocker Super Moist Vanilla and Betty Crocker Super Moist Cake Mix in White. And like I said, the idea here is to cover the fruit with the cake mixture. Now, if you think you have your cake mixture covered, your fruit, you can stop this and gently tap down. It will crackle, but as you see the outside edges there, need some more love and attention with the cake mix. And the thing I like the most about a sifter is you can do this over something else, over another pan, and just re-sift again. This looks like a lot, and it really is, and it isn't all at the same time. Okay. And again, I'm going to tap this. Again, you can see the crackle, that's okay. And there's just a little bit more of that fruit showing through, so I'm just going to add a little bit more cake mix. I'm sorry I don't have exact measurements for this. This is all really sort of kind of by eye. I have just learned from trial and error that the one thing you do is you want to make sure your fruit is covered. I'm hoping you can see. Okay, now that this looks pretty covered, the next thing you will do is you will take your pads of butter. You only need between 8 to 9, and you very carefully, slightly cold butter is good. This was cold underneath my kitchen light, unfortunately. It has slightly started to melt on me. Epic fail on my part. But you just basically want to place the butter. Remember, the butter is going to melt, so you don't have to be exact. Just try not to leave too many big white openings. And as you can see, if you see a white opening, I have these two little slabs left, and what I'm going to gently do is gently take this knife and divide them. And divide them again. And oh so very carefully. Going to slightly push that butter into that little spot right there. And so very carefully take that piece and drop that piece right there. Again, do the same with the other. You know, you kind of eyeball this. You can very much so scrape the bottom of this butter cutter. Oops. Scrape the butter and use the paper and very gently tap it down onto the thing here like so and stick it there. I use the same sifter. You can wash it if you would like. I'm not that picky. This is nothing more than cinnamon and sugar in a container. If it looks like that the cinnamon and sugar is separating, which it sometimes does, that's why I like this with the lid. I pop the lid back on and shake this up. I got these little containers at Dollar Tree probably 10 years ago. I believe they still sell them. If not, all you need is something just to mix this in. I use the sifter for this. You can use a salt shaker, pepper shaker, cinnamon shaker. You can mix this however you please. And I just go across here like so, and I coat the top of this with cinnamon sugar. And then I take aluminum foil, place it on top. These bake for about 45 minutes at 350 degrees. If you're doing a 9x13 pan, it is about between an hour to an hour and 30 minutes covered as well. I've done that with a 9x13 pan. When I do it with a 9x13 pan, I cover it for an hour, and then the last 30 minutes, obviously on the middle rack, I uncover it and allow it to finish cooking that way. So that is how I make my peach cobblers, apple cobblers, strawberry cobblers, blueberry cobblers, wild berry cobblers, any type of cobbler you can think of. Hopefully you like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye! Oh, and happy Halloween! Bye!